Hey everybody, welcome back. Hockey fans, Ducks fans. It's Thursday, October 20th. There were only 3 games yesterday we're going to touch on. There are 12 today. It's a big day in hockey today. 12 games to watch. Get out there, watch it, get off early. Grab a beer, grab some chips, grab whatever you need. Grab your honey, sit on the couch, watch the hockey games. Hey, listen, NHL news. We'll touch on some briefly, nothing major. And I want you guys to stick around till the middle of the video at least, because I'm going to talk about some trade rumors. There's some crazy stuff going on, and then I'll talk about the Ducks towards the end, all right? Okay, guys, so here we go. I want to talk about those 3 games that were on yesterday. Interestingly enough, all 3 games ended 4-3. That will never happen again, in my opinion, in the history of the NHL. It's probably never happened in the past, but all 3 games that were on yesterday ended with a 4-3 score. Weird, right? Let's start it off with Philly and Florida. Florida won 4-3. They are now 3-1, and so is Philly. Philly lost their first game. Now, they lost their first game of the season, but they lost it to one of the best teams in the NHL, right? The Florida Panthers. So, Philadelphia's really impressing a lot of people. They're off to a great start. I mean, the question really in Philadelphia is Carter Hart. Can he continue to do really well? The goaltender for Philadelphia. And, can Philadelphia just as a team as a whole under Tortorella's reign continue this success throughout an 82-game schedule? So, has yet to be seen. It's way too early to know, but good for Philly and Philly fans. They're off to a great start, so I'm super excited for them. They've been pretty mediocre and bad for quite a while now, you know what I mean? So good for Philly. Hopefully things are starting to turn around in Philadelphia. Next one up. Oh, hey, I wanted to touch real quick. Sandstrom was in goal for Philadelphia. 31 saves on 35 shots. Bobrovsky was in net for Florida, and he had 31 saves on 34 shots. A former Duck, Josh Mahura, got a goal for the Florida Panthers. He was let go and I believe put on waivers, and Florida grabbed him. So Mahura, I actually kind of liked Mahura when he was a Duck as a defender. Gritty guy, worked hard, and he had a long way to go still, but at the same time, I enjoyed watching him play, and I liked how hard he worked, and I liked that he would drop the gloves and he would get involved in that way and protect his other players and that kind of thing. So Josh Mahura, I hope he has a lot of success in Florida. I really do. Next game, Jets, Winnipeg, and the Colorado Avalanche. So this one went to overtime, and the Jets pulled it out. It was Pionk who had the game winner in overtime. He actually had 2 goals in that game. The game winner in overtime, the most important. So the Jets are now 2-1, and the Avs are 2-1-1. Hellebuyck had 30 saves on 33 shots against, and Georgiev didn't do so hot. 28 shots faced, 24 saves. So, that's that one. And then, let's see. Oh, and just Colorado, Rantanen had 2 goals and assists. So he had a big night, even though the Avs ended up only getting a point. Rantanen had a really big night for Colorado. Third one on the night last night was the St. Louis-Seattle game. This is the one I was kind of interested in to see if Seattle can turn things around a little bit. They've had a couple of bad games, a couple of stinkers up in Seattle. So they're at home again. St. Louis is in town visiting them. This was last night, of course. And so they actually did pretty well, a lot better than they have in the last couple games. They did end up losing, again, the score 4-3, and it was in overtime. So they got a point out of the game. So that's good for Seattle because they had a couple of stinkers there. So now maybe it'll help them to kind of gain some more confidence. And, Seattle's one of those teams I really enjoy watching, and I have a feeling they're going to do, a heck of a lot better than they did last year. But what a fun team to watch for sure. The St. Louis Blues they've only had 2 games, so they're 2-0 now, and Seattle's 1-2-2. Binnington was in net for St. Louis, and watching that game, he had some pretty impressive saves. It was quite enjoyable to watch, if you will. Binnington is one of those X factors for St. Louis, in my opinion. I think St. Louis has a really good team up and down the lineup. But Binnington has to be Binnington. You know what I mean? Stay healthy and stand on your head when you need to type thing. So I've talked about it before. Goaltending is everything, in my opinion. Defense and goaltending. You got to have both just moving and grooving if you're going to do well in hockey and go far. So Binnington had a big night, 32 saves on 35 shots, some really, really impressive saves. Jones was in net for Seattle, and he had 24 saves on 28 shots. So not the greatest, but Justin Falk had 2 goals in that game for St. Louis. So real quick, before I dive into all 12 games that are on today, some injury reports. Aaron Ekblad of the Florida Panthers. He was placed on long-term injured reserve, which means he's going to be out of the lineup for at least 24 days. He's got I believe it's a lower body injury. So that's kind of a big blow to Florida. Obviously, Florida's a pretty deep team. I'm not worried about them with having Ekblad out. It is a big hit for them on the D side, but Florida will get through it, and Ekblad will come back, and everything will be fine. Florida's one of those deep teams, one of those highly skilled teams that will do well, no matter what, really. So that's one injury, and then another big one is Gabriel Landeskog. He's the captain of the Colorado Avalanche. He is going to be out for 12 weeks. He had arthroscopic knee surgery, apparently, and he's going to be out for at least 12 weeks. So, I don't know, what do you say? The Colorado Avalanche that's a big piece of their winning success, right? And it's the captain. So that's a big blow, I think, to the Avs. They're not off to the greatest of starts. They are the defending Stanley Cup champs. That they're going to do okay. I mean, I'm not worried about them, and they're certainly not one of those teams you throw into the panic bucket and freak out. You know what I mean? No. But slow start, and now you've got Landeskog out for 3 months. Yeah, that's a big blow. So hopefully they can, keep on winning, keep on playing. They actually need to improve a little bit, get their game going a little bit. Hopefully the Landeskog injury and being out won't affect them too much, but they need to kind of right the ship a little bit and start winning some games, getting some points, and showing us that they are the defending Stanley Cup champions and that kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure they will. I'm not worried about that. And Colorado fans, you shouldn't be worried about it either. But he is out, and that's a big hit for them. So 12 games today, guys. There are 12 games today. This is a great day for hockey. Take the day off, get off early, go out and watch these games, man. There's a whole bunch of really good ones. So here we go. Starting with the Caps at Ottawa. The Capitals are 2-2. The Ottawa Senators are 1-2. Ottawa had that big win against Boston, put up 7 goals on them. So it's Caps at Ottawa. Sharks are in New York, taking on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. The Sharks are 0-5. Pretty sure they're going to go 0-6. Yeah, 0-6 for them. New York Rangers are 3-1 right now. So next one up here, see Predators and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Predators are at Columbus. Preds are 2-1. They're one of those teams where they beat San Jose twice in a row in Europe. But San Jose is 0-5. So San Jose obviously isn't doing very hot. So is that a real good test? So the Predators have lost 2 games. They lost the last one to the Kings in overtime, or in a shootout. The Preds are one to watch. I have them doing well this year. I really do. But what's going on in Nashville? You know what I mean? Do we need to freak out yet? Do Nashville Predator fans need to start getting worried? No, it's too soon for that. But Nashville needs to get a win tonight. And I think they will, even though it's in Columbus. I think they will. But 2-1. Preds need to get going here. Get back in the win column if they want to get anywhere. And then the Columbus Jackets are 1-3. Next up is the LA Kings. They're in Pittsburgh, taking on the Penguins. Kings are 3-2. They've won all 3 road games on this road trip they're on. I don't think they're going to win this one. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this one. Pittsburgh's strong, especially at home. They're 2-0-1 on the year so far. I think if LA's going to lose a game on this road trip, it's going to be against the Penguins. But who knows? The Kings are strong. So Dallas is at Toronto. Here's a big one, guys. Okay, Toronto fans. You know how I've been talking about Toronto a lot, and I'm going to talk about them again a little bit later about some trade rumors. So Dallas is in Toronto. Dallas is 3-0. They are really showing that they're ready to go. They're playing well. Ottinger's looking really good. Robertson's looking really good. They're playing super well. They're definitely not showing any issues. The loss of John Klingberg and that offensive blue line, you know what I mean, missing there, clearly isn't affecting them, at least not yet. They're doing really well. Toronto is 2-2, and they're almost, let's push the panic button with the goaltending situation. I've talked about Toronto a lot lately. Their goaltending situation is meek. I don't like it really all overall as a whole anyway, but Matt Murray is their number one going into the season, and he's injured. So Matt Murray not being a consistent, other than the brief moments he had when he was in Pittsburgh, kind of a gamble, kind of a risk, I think, with Toronto trying to bring him in as a number one, and so far it's not really paying off. He's injured now, and so goaltending depth is going to become a real issue for them, and keeping the puck out of their own net. So they really need to step up their game if they're going to stay in the hunt. Because remember, if you don't get out to a good start early on in the season, you can get behind the eight ball really quick, and then it's really hard to make that up. So Toronto, that's a big game. Dallas is going to be there. And I have a feeling it's going to be a really good test for the Toronto Maple Leafs to see if they're going to take that step forward without Matt Murray in net and, show people that they are okay, if you will. So anyways, Arizona is going to be in Montreal. Coyotes are 1-2. Montreal is 2-2. I'm not big on watching. The Dallas-Toronto game, way bigger to watch. And let's see. Ducks, my Ducks, they're in Boston. This is the fourth game of their 5-game road trip. Ducks are 1-3. Boston is 3-1. The New Jersey Devils are going to be not far. They're going to be over on the island, facing the Islanders. The Devils are 1-2. The Islanders are 2-1. The Vancouver Canucks, okay, they're 0-3-1. Are they going to lose another one? They're at Minnesota. Wait, Minnesota's 0-3. Wow. Somebody's going to get their first win out of those teams, okay? So Vancouver and Minnesota, somebody's going to be in the win column finally. Who's it going to be? Carolina, 3-0, my Eastern pick to go to the Cup. Carolina is in Edmonton. Here's a big test for the Oilers. The Oilers aren't off to the greatest of starts. Carolina is going to come out gunning. They're looking good. They're looking like the Hurricanes and of what everybody expected, and certainly what I expected. So Carolina is probably the only thing that I've predicted that is so far it's holding true. They're playing well. They look really good out there. I like what I see from the Carolina Hurricanes. Edmonton's up for a challenge tonight for sure. Good one to watch, people. Buffalo. The Buffalo Sabres are off to a good start. Buffalo fans are probably pretty stoked. They're 2-1. They are in Calgary, so this is a big test for them. Calgary is 3-0. They're one of the unbeatens. I have a feeling Calgary will dispatch Buffalo pretty easily. Calgary is an offensive juggernaut, in my opinion, with the additions of Huberdeau, Uyghur, Kadri. They're good, people. They're good. Up and down that lineup, they're good. And then the last one, Winnipeg is in Vegas. Winnipeg played last night, so this will be a tough one for them. They're going to be in Vegas, and Vegas is 3-1. Winnipeg, with their win last night, 2-1. So that covers today's games. Get out there and watch them. All right, so let's talk about what this video kind of encompasses. Some rumors that are floating around out there. Toronto Maple Leafs. You guys are rumored to be in the Jacob Chychrun trade speculation and rumors. Toronto may be a landing spot for Jacob Chychrun. Think about it, Toronto. You guys are kind of struggling a little bit. Your goaltending situation, obviously, Jacob Chychrun is not going to shore up your goaltending woes, if you will, but he's going to add that defensive presence, offense as well back there on the blue line. So why not try to make a move for him? And I think Toronto, it's a rumor, okay? It's a rumor. I'm not putting much into this, okay? But it sounds like a place that potentially he would want to go. So, yeah, Jacob Chychrun. Is Toronto going to be where he ends up going? Toronto's going to have to make some room they're up against the ceiling in the cap. So they're going to have to move some money to get him. And they're going to probably have to give up one or maybe at least a first rounder and some assets and get some money off the books so they can make room for him. Now, Chychrun only makes $4.6 million, okay? So he's not a huge hit on the cap. But Toronto's going to have to make some room for him. Are they really in the hunt for him? And is Jacob Chychrun, I think, would want to go there. He wants to play for a Stanley Cup team. He's made that very clear. He doesn't want to stay in Arizona, and I don't blame him. I feel like at his age, he's entering his prime as a defenseman. We already know how well he can produce. So why not say, hey, I want out. Get me out of here. And for the Arizona Coyotes, they get, in return, depending on where they go, doesn't matter, where Jacob ends up going, they're going to get some really, really good returns for him. A first rounder for sure. I can't see them not getting a first rounder. In fact, their asking price is your first round pick plus, XYZ. So is Toronto really going to go out there and get Jacob Chychrun? Tell me what you guys think. Toronto fans, hockey fans, comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you want Jacob Chychrun? Do you think he'll help your team? I think he would help. I think he would. But Toronto's going to have to give up a lot to get him. And will he be what they need to make it happen for them this year? Playoff-wise and that kind of thing. I don't know. Let me know what you think. In my personal opinion, Jacob Chychrun would do well in Toronto. Sure, of course. Some other teams I think that he would probably consider going to and do well would be, and it kind of all depends on the situation as far as, this early it wouldn't matter. But Tampa Bay is another one of those teams that I think the Heat that might want to go out and get him. They've lost some key pieces over the offseason, and they're not showing too much promise early on in the season yet. So Tampa's another landing spot for him, I think, if they have the cap space for it, obviously. Kings, possibly. The Kings already have Drew Doughty. They've got a good team overall. Do you want to disrupt that? Maybe add that one extra piece that pushes them even deeper, the Kings. There's a lot of considerations out there. I'm being a Ducks fan, knowing that Pat Verbeek, our new GM, wants to keep the team pretty young. I feel like that would be a good asset for us. He's already a proven NHL ready. He's right there entering his prime, and he can put the puck in the net and create plays. We have that as well with John Klingberg. But I have a feeling John Klingberg is more of just temporary, and then we're going to get assets for him. So why not bring in Jacob Chychrun? We have plenty of money, and we've got plenty of assets that we could give Arizona. Now, Arizona, I don't like them very much. I hate to see them get some of our prospects coming up through the pipeline, but maybe that's something the Ducks should do. Something to consider. But another name I want to talk about real quick is Patrick Kane. Now, I've mentioned this before in other videos. I don't think Patrick Kane is going to be a Chicago Blackhawk this entire season. He is going to be in a different uniform before the season's over. That's my opinion. I think that's the opinion of a lot of people in the NHL that watch it and follow it pretty closely, but I don't think Patrick Kane is going to be a Blackhawk season's end. He's going to be playing for somebody else, probably a contender. I have a feeling he's going to end up getting moved around the trade deadline or maybe a little bit before the trade deadline. It just depends. Some teams that are speculated to be in the hunt for Patrick Kane, and these are trade rumors, people. Don't take this for anything other than the fact that these are just rumors, okay? But I love looking at rumors because it's interesting to see. Most of the time, they never come to fruition. They're just rumors, and it's just, But Patrick Kane, Colorado, interesting, right? The Calgary Flames, that would really add a punch to them going into the playoffs. The Los Angeles Kings, there's another team that he could be an X factor going into the playoffs. Pittsburgh Penguins, I can see that happening. They like those older, experienced players that will grab them and bring them in, try to make a run, push in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the New York Rangers, they're also speculated as in the hunt for, or in the talk, I should say, for Patrick Kane. Most of these teams, I think cap space will be an issue. Patrick Kane has a pretty good contract money-wise, so they're going to have to make space for him, but he might be an X factor for some teams. to make that playoff push and maybe go deep, and adding him as a skilled depth player. So we'll see. If I had to pick between any of those teams, I think the Pens would be the Pens and the Kings. I really think those are the two teams that I can see Patrick Kane going to try to make a playoff push for those teams. I think they would go out and try and get him, but who knows? This is all rumors. One other thing I want to talk about was it just came out, and you got to go out and check it on your team's website or NHL.com. Go look. The reverse retro jerseys just got released. So now you can go and see what your favorite team's retro jersey looks like. Pretty cool. Some of them are kind of weird. Some of them are pretty cool. Being a Ducks fan, I was really curious to see what the Ducks and what that jersey was going to look like. And it's basically a tribute to the old jersey back in the day when they were the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, but with the current team colors, the orange and the goldish, colors put in there. So I like it. It looks really good. I think they did a good job with it. It's classy. I'm going to go out and get myself one for sure because it's pretty cool looking. And I like it. So, hey, we're going to end the video with some Ducks talk like I always do. Ducks are in Boston. Okay, Ducks are in Boston tonight. Look, if anybody's been watching me talking about the Ducks currently and then their struggles, I'm a Dallas Eakins has got to go. Okay, I'm not a fan. I haven't been a big fan from the get-go. I was really skeptical when Bob Murray, who I'm not a big fan of and I'm glad he's gone, put him in behind the bench. I think Dallas Eakins is just not an NHL caliber coach. He does really well with younger guys and developing them in the minors. He's proven that. Okay, so stay there. We need somebody, and I don't know who that is. I don't know who's out there. The first name that came to mind for me, at least, was Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz has made it clear that he's taking this year off, that he didn't want to coach this year for personal reasons. Now, is he going to come back? I hope so. I think Barry Trotz is a good coach, and I think, if anything, the Ducks would benefit from going out and getting a Barry Trotz. I really do. Now, there are probably a lot of other names, and there's probably going to be some names that for coaches that become available when they get let go this year, okay, that could be good fits for the Anaheim Ducks. So we'll see. But I want Dallas out. I don't think he's doing a good enough job with this team. They should be doing a lot better than they are right now. Nobody expected the Ducks this year to do absolutely enormously great, okay, or be a playoff team. But they did add really good players in Strome, Vetrano, Klingberg. Those are players that add skill, make your team better immediately, right? So why are we not playing better than this? We should be doing as good, if not better, than we were doing last year at this point. We should be winning games and being competitive every single night, and we're not. Okay, we're not. And that's really frustrating. So, look, they gotta go out there and take it to Boston. Boston's a good team. Okay, they're out to 3-1. They've been playing really well. Pasternak, Bergeron, all showing Krejci, all playing really well right now. Goaltending wise, but they're putting up goals. So they've got a lot of injuries too on the blue line. So they've been trying to get through that, and I think they're doing a pretty good job. Hampus Lindholm, former Duck, has been playing some extra minutes and playing a lot more in more areas of the game, like power play time and that kind of thing for them because of those injuries on Boston's blue line. But either way, they're doing really well, and it's going to be a tough one for the Ducks to go into Boston, go into TD Garden, and get anything out of this game. I hope they do. I really do, but it doesn't look good for the Ducks the way they've been playing. Boston's a good one. So listen, Ducks, they need more O-zone time, offensive zone time. They need to win those puck battles. They're not winning the puck battles, guys. You watch these games in the last few games, they're getting outworked in every way, shape, and form. Outplayed, outworked, outskated, losing the battles along the boards. They're not pressuring the other team, in my opinion. Why would you just stand there and watch a player with the puck kind of skate around you and make that pass or shoot? Pressure them. right? Go out and put your stick and get in front of them. Don't compromise your position and allow somebody else to get open. That's where I think they're afraid to do it, because they're afraid of what might happen, as a result of pressuring those players. But if you don't go out there and pressure a player with the puck, they're just going to skate right around you, do whatever the heck they want. You change that and you put pressure on that player. Now you're going to make them create, or you're going to make them, make a decision that's not good. Pass when they shouldn't have, or whatever the case may be. That pressure creates turnovers, which turns into offensive opportunities on the other side, right? So, and I haven't been seeing that at all from the Ducks. So they need to pressure the other team, especially when they're defending. They need to get out there. Those wingers need to get out there and pressure those guys. Stop allowing so many shots and cross-ice passes, and it's insane to watch. But pressure on those players, that's huge. Look, crisp passing, I want to see, and I haven't seen it consistently. Good passes out of their own defensive zone up to the forwards. So transitioning as they go out and try to, get down to the offensive zone. And, you're not seeing that good, crisp, clean passes. Every once in a while you do, but a lot of times you see passes that are just behind the player or too far ahead of the player. And it's like, well, now you just turned it over. They need to get better on their passing. They need to be better defensively in front of Gibby or Stolarz, whoever's in net. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gibson tonight. Stolarz played the last game a couple nights ago in Jersey. So Gibson's going to be back in net, and his numbers aren't good. And it's not his fault, people. It really isn't his fault. It's the guys playing in front of him. And it's them and the coaches that need to take the brunt of the blame for Gibby's horrible numbers to start the season. Now, Gibby's great goaltender, one of the best in the NHL. I've seen this guy stand on his head and keep the Ducks in games that they shouldn't have been in. He hasn't been able to do that yet this year because of the horrible defense, absolutely horrid defense, and horrible penalty killing. So they need to do better in front of Gibby. Give him a chance to make that save. Let him see the puck. Box out the players in front of him. They need to do better, straight up. Okay. Hockey fans, Ducks fans, if you've made it this far, hey, thank you so much for watching. Go down and subscribe, please. I need lots of subscribers. I need you guys to know when I'm putting out content, which is pretty much daily, so you can see what I'm talking about next. Okay, I'm always talking hockey. All right, so don't go down and subscribe, please. Like, comment. I love to get comments from everybody. I respond to them very quickly, and tell me what you think. You might not agree with me. You might. Hey, let me know. Thanks for watching. See ya.